structure. The area of this proposal lies outside the Red Deer River conveyance and protected zones from the flood hazard overlay boundary. Parcels are serviced by a service road that basically goes along the west side of them. There is 12th Avenue that runs along the north, but primarily the access to the two lots will be off the service road. And there's also a laneway at the back of the property, which kind of acts as a buffer between the commercial area and kind of the residential to the east. The proposed lot 2, although it connects to the laneway, it has a smaller area that joins with the laneway than the rest of lot 1. So in the tourism corridor district, retail and service heavy, which this would fall within, is a permitted use. So we're recommending approval, subject to being registered at land titles, all outstanding taxes be paid to the municipality, satisfactory arrangement be made with the municipality for any services, concurrent registration of utility easements and right-of-ways, and in this case, it would be the TELUS who is looking to have them registered on title. And then 5 and 6 are basically stating that those fragmented parcels be consolidated into making the lots 1 and 2. So essentially we have one parcel that's being kind of split, and then portions of it will be consolidated with the other fragmented parcels in the end, creating two lots. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions or comments? Or the only question I have, the building currently straddling the lot, will that now be on its own lot? Or
yes, yeah, that, so basically that's if you see the diagram there, that would be lot 2, the most southerly one there. So currently about 2/3 of the building lies within the existing south lot, and 1/3 of it is on the northern part of the lot. And with this happening, it'll basically be confined within the whole new lot. I'm not sure if part of the reason, if he's just recently purchased this property and now wants to kind of fix up some of these boundaries and stuff. Because I think that used to be Ackerman's or something, I think at one time, or
Ackland's.
And probably so that the Acklands has been closed for a few years and it's been for sale, but maybe that's part of the barrier to sell it, as it had been on a couple of different, tied to a bunch of different pieces of land in here. So
yeah, and the realtors are them, they'd probably be conscious of of the building sitting over a property line.
yeah.
Hey, do you need what do you need from us, Jerry? You need just a consensus? We don't really vote on this, do we?
That's correct. Just basically that, I guess, moving ahead, that you're comfortable with us giving approval, kind of an agreement that we give approval based on our recommendations.
So you just get we make a motion that says that we grant, we have no objections to this, or we're in concurrence with the recommendations put forth by Palliser to move forward, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Art, go ahead.
Yeah.
You'll make that motion?
Yep.
Okay, seconded. Tony? All in favor? Okay, carried. Thank you. 4.2 8166. Before we proceed on this, I will recuse myself from The MPC, I would turn the chair over to Shelley because I am the chair of the Drumheller District Seniors Foundation. So I will remove myself from MPC. I will not be involved in the discussion or the voting, and we can have that in the minutes, please.
Yep.
Go ahead, Shelley.
Yes, we'll get started then on subdivision application 80-166-2022-006. Does any, could it get a motion so we can open for discussion, please? Thanks, Art. Any discussion? Or we'll let
Well,
Grant.
Let
talk about it.
let Gary talk about it.
Okay, so essentially, as you mentioned, this file number is basically a boundary adjustment. It's located at the site of the old Drumheller Hospital, and the lot line common with the Drumheller and District Seniors Foundation. So they're looking at straightening out the common boundary between the two parcels, just because as it is now, it kind of jogged around a number of bends. I think that was initially for when it went around a parking lot for the hospital. And I think part of it was jogged like that is when I think it was the old Drumheller Auxiliary Hospital that used to be kind of in that area as well. So we're creating no new parcels. So essentially they'll still remain at 2 parcels. The existing use is residential and institutional. It's in the neighborhood district. The appeal status is to the province due to the proximity of the Red Deer River and the highways. There was no opposition from adjacent landowners through the circulation, although I did get one email from a lady who just had, she just wanted clarification of what was happening, and she wanted to know when the demolition was taking place. And I told her I wasn't aware of a date and that it would be best if she contacted the town.
Yeah, I think I've spoken with her, so.
Okay, yeah. And she's just curious what was gonna go on the property. And I said, well, at this time, there's no proposal for anything. But I said, at the time of development, it would have to meet all the criteria of that land use district. So we got no concerns or anything from the referral agencies. So as mentioned, basically it comes down to just straightening that lot line between the two properties, just to make it a nice cleaner lot line. And probably the town is looking at doing that while they still have ownership of it before if they possibly sell it in the future.
And really the request came from the Drumheller and District Seniors Foundation to the town to straighten that out. They needed a bit of land, so.
Okay,
So yeah, which was fine by us.
right.
Yeah, the reason for that, speaking on behalf of the foundation, this will now accommodate the new SL4 building. Originally, the SL4 building was proposed to be basically between the Hillview Lodge and the river. That was the land that Seniors Foundation owns. And after they did the geotechnical work, surveying and all that kind of stuff, they found that was not going to be suitable. So they asked if they could use the land the DDSF had west of Hillview Lodge, and there wasn't quite enough to accommodate the entire SL4 structure comfortably. So to straighten out that line, that now gives enough room for the new SL4 structure on the west side of Hillview rather than the north side of Hillview.
You're looking for just a letter for recommendation on this?
Gary?
So, yeah, so basically just kind of like the last one, I'll give you our recommendations and just, yeah, just a motion that you're kind of in agreement with them. So basically, we have the standard ones again, the registered land titles, the taxes, satisfactory arrangements to be made with the municipality for any servicing. And at this stage, we have not received anything from the utility companies that stating that they require any easements or right of ways. And number 5, that the structure on proposed lot 1, basically the hospital, be removed prior to the demolition or endorsement of the final documents. I'm not sure on that one how you feel, because that essentially would hold up the endorsement of the plan until such time that those sheds on the south side of the hospital there and the hospital would be removed before we could do the final endorsement of that. But I guess it could always be like an agreement that that would be done at a,
And we're demolishing this summer. We're hoping to demolish this summer, put a tender out to get it started this summer. So the
okay.
expectation is we want to have it all cleared and ready for future use before the end of the year. So.
Okay, so then, yeah, that should work out then. I just wanted to bring your attention that I just didn't want that condition holding up the registration of the plan if it was, going to be, sometime in the future that would be dealt with.
Could we get a motion and a seconder for, to pass this with a recommendation to Palliser?
I think you
Yeah.
did, Kelly. It was Art. Art made the motion because you,
Okay,
and then Tony seconded. So,
seconded it. All in favor? Okay, over to you, Tom.
Okay, thank you very much. So could I get a motion for somebody to close the meeting? Tony, go ahead. Could you read it?
I'll motion that we close the meeting for discussion of the proposed land use bylaw amendments under section 5.1 of the March 24, 2022 agenda.
Seconded,
Shelley,
Shelley, all in favor? Carried, thank you.
just give us a second. We'll stop recording.